I so happen to work at one of these storied companies, and it's Yahoo. The tech pioneer was the first guide for people through the fast-growing internet in the mid to late 1990s. Along the way came legendary products such as Yahoo Search, Yahoo Finance, Yahoo Sports, Yahoo News, and Yahoo Mail. These are timeless products, and they endure today as the go-to trusted guide for millions around the world. Quick plug for Yahoo Finance, because I am so darn proud. We are #1 in our category by a wide country mile. This week, Yahoo has put its own innovative stamp on its long timeline of history making. The Yahoo team has debuted Yahoo Scout, a new proprietary AI-powered answer search engine. I could sit here and tell you how I was up all night using Yahoo Scout on Yahoo Finance, because I was, and it was awesome. But let me welcome on the person leading the innovative charge here at Yahoo. That is Yahoo CEO, Jim Lanzone. Jim, I have to be honest with you, man. I almost came on here wearing a purple hoodie, but then I said to myself, look, I mean, I love Yahoo, but I don't interview other CEOs wearing purple hoodies, so I'm not gonna do that to Jim. That's how excited I am about Yahoo Scout. Jim, why'd you launch this?
Well, by the way, Brian, I almost did the same thing. I almost came on wearing all purple and thought against it, you know. Look, we, as you know, when we first came into the company in very late 2021, so the first thing we had to do was lead a transformation of the business, and that took a little while. But starting in about 2024, we got through that, and we started relaunching every product that we operate. As you know, Yahoo Finance got a big upgrade. Things like Yahoo Fantasy just had its biggest year ever. Yahoo Mail just had its biggest day ever. We've been building an ad tech business with our DSP. So we've been doing all these things, but search is still one of our biggest businesses. And up until yesterday, we had not touched search ourselves really since 2009 through a partnership with Microsoft, which we still have for web search. But as of yesterday, Yahoo Scout is our new AI-powered search engine that we built internally with a lot of partners, including Microsoft. But it really brings all the rich data, from our user relationships, all the usage over the years, our 30+ years of search history, our content verticals like Yahoo Finance. And we brought all that goodness together to answer people's questions in a really unique and interesting new way that we think adds new value to the category.
Jim, like I mentioned, plugging your appearance on LinkedIn and X this morning, I used this last night to create a condensed research report on Netflix. I mean, it fired up a report in seconds. As you look into the future for Yahoo, why is something like this so important?
Well, look, search is changing, and it's still the main way that people are finding everything online. The first generation of AI search engines really were chatbots, and they were very conversational, and they went out and essentially took all the information from the internet and brought it back to you in a conversational mode. But it was, very limiting compared to a lot of the things that web search did well. And with Yahoo Scout, we actually are also returning answers, direct answers, in a somewhat conversational fashion, but also bringing the best of search to bear with highly visual responses and a lot of direct links to the sources of information where we get our answers from. In some cases, that's something like Yahoo Finance that we do internally, but in a lot of cases, that's the open web. And so what you'll see in Yahoo Scout are also a lot of highlighted links out to the sources that the information comes from. So we're also actually kind of going back to the original social contract of search, which is we get our answers from publishers out there, but then we also send them traffic back. And that really has been a core value of what we built here with Scout.
In this AI moment, Jim, how important is it that we reestablish that social contract with publishers?
I mean, I think it's incredibly important if we want to keep getting great answers because, the businesses that they run on their own websites are how those answers are generated. And so the good news is it's actually better for the user experience. We really think with this product, we've hit the sweet spot between chat and traditional search and really blending the best of both. But in doing so, also keeping the open web very healthy. And we think that's really important. We also think that can be true for search advertising, which also has not really crossed the chasm to this first generation of AI search. And some of the things you've heard out there have been really display banner ads, which ironically Google first did in 2000, 2001. They sold banner ads before they built AdWords and kind of took a page from the book of Overture. We think actually traditional or search advertising can come along for this ride as well, and we're also working on that.
Do you envision Yahoo Scout going eventually to something like OpenAI does, like paid paid memberships, paid subscriptions?
Well, it's definitely free to start with. And, I think including Yahoo Finance, every great free business on the internet maybe has a premium tier. We have that with our subscriptions at Yahoo Finance. I could see that happening here as well. But we really do think the core business can be subsidized very well with search advertising that we think comes along to maybe a new format, but really does that. By the way, the other great thing, and I think this hits Yahoo Finance users very, very much as well, is we also launched the Yahoo Scout intelligence platform. So yes, we launched an AI engine called Yahoo Scout, but then we're also bringing Scout out to all the properties of Yahoo. And so in Yahoo Finance, for example, if you search up any quote for any stock, you'll see a button that says Analyze. That will dig deeper and actually give you the latest information on what's been happening with that stock. It does the same thing in Yahoo Sports. Go to any game summary, like during the Super Bowl, and you'll be able to see a Scout button there, hit it, and it will give you a really robust explanation of what's happening in the game beyond the box score. We do that in Yahoo Mail, we do that in Yahoo News. So that intelligence platform is really informing all of Yahoo. So this has really been a two-way thing for our company, which is all the verticals and all the parts of Yahoo come together to help create Scout. But then Scout is actually going back out to the properties to make them stronger. And as we get to the next generation of Yahoo Scout, which will be personalization, you'll see that even more.
Everyone knows Yahoo, Jim, and I'm convinced everyone knows you. And that gives you the luxury of picking whatever model you wanted to. But you went with Anthropic. What stood out to you about Anthropic?
Yeah, and they've been, first of all, it's obviously one of the highest quality, if not the highest quality, large language model. Yahoo ourselves, we're way too small to be creating that ourselves. We'll leave that to to others. But also, Anthropic and Claude, they had not really worked with many consumer-facing companies yet, and they have been amazing to work with to let us, kind of take all those ingredients into our restaurant. And I should mention, Eric Fang, who leads the Yahoo Research Group, was really the mastermind behind this project. We acquired his company Symbol last summer, and that team came in and took over the Yahoo Search Group as well, and really spent the last 6 months only building this product. So it's pretty amazing to see. Eric, by the way, people will know, he was the founding chief technology and product officer at Hulu. He actually even named Hulu. But before that had worked on Microsoft Bing and other things, very well-known guy in the Valley. So Eric really has been able to bring, the best of our content and our data. You mix it with what you're getting from not only Anthropic, in terms of the large language model, but also Microsoft Bing for grounding, and you pull all those things together. And Eric and his team, create with that this amazing new product that stands up on its own.
Jim, you and I have a mutual friend in VC, Bill Gurley. You, of course, known him for a lot longer than I have. I recently had him on my podcast, and he said, Brian, a lot of these companies that are raising large amounts of money in tech to support their model ambitions, they're losing a ton of money. They're going to lose a lot more money. Can this pace of capital raise continue for these companies? And what do you think about the valuations?
Well, I think I have the benefit of having a day job that is all encompassing. And so, I know what they're doing is very expensive, and for sure, we've seen these cycles come where a huge amount of investment precedes a lot of growth in the category. For us, we take a little bit different approach in that we spent the first couple of years here really rebuilding the business, getting on sound financial footing. So Yahoo, we make a lot of money, we're very profitable, and we have this great base to start building from. And of course, by not being either an LLM or a hyperscaler, we're not really involved in that level of capital raise. We can do this and actually be growing at a healthy clip. And growing our profits at a healthy clip. So we're in a little different spot from the rest of them.
How would you compare?
But I do hear Bill, my old investor, my old startup.
Yeah, Bill's an interesting cat. How would you compare what we're seeing, this AI moment, to when the internet was being built in the late 90s?
I mean, I think from Mark Andreessen to Reid Hoffman, everyone said it's another moment that's equivalent to the birth of the internet. Some people think it's equivalent to the birth of computers in the first place. That's still yet to be seen. I think, it's funny. I saw a stat the other day that only 15% of Google users have even used ChatGPT, which seems unbelievable. But it reminds me of when we first built streaming services. I spent some time in the streaming wars as well. And only 50% of people 10 years ago had used a DVR. So, people do come along with this a little more slowly, but search has been, I'd say, the first consumer-facing, ground war here. Of course, there's others, coding, for example, and other uses of this. But yeah, I think we're still very early innings of something that is clearly going to be a huge new category, especially in consumer.
You think one model wins out?
No, there's always been room for more flavors. I do think that in search specifically, as we did this project, you can imagine, I'm going to get a bit of a rest now because I was doing every query that I was doing on 5 different engines for the last 6 months. So maybe that can chill out a little bit. Users have had a hard time differentiating between these products. I would say, they know ChatGPT was the one that invented the category, perhaps, but for everybody else, it's been pretty thin on differentiation. I've seen over time that there have always been room for different flavors of products, whether it's in streaming or in search. So I don't know that it really resorts to one. I think these companies are going to have to make choices. Obviously, Grok has made certain choices. Who they partner with for their data over time will change the flavor of some of these things. And then on the front end, there's just a lot more we can do. In Yahoo's case, we're bringing data to the table in this product that nobody else has. Because this is our usage data over 30 years. These are our direct relationships with our users. And that's another part of this launch, which is, yes, would I hope that the whole world will use this product? I hope it's that good and that people find it that valuable. On the other hand, we're every month one of the 5 largest properties in the United States in total users and in total usage. And if we just do a better job for our users, we're going to get a huge amount of growth and take a piece of this category.
Jim, I know you're a busy guy. Before I let you go, toughest question I've asked you so far. Have you used Yahoo Scout for your Super Bowl pick, and who is it?
I've not used it for that pick. I'm a 49ers season ticket holder, so I will not be rooting for the Seahawks no matter what. But I have dabbled with it for things earlier in the season, fantasy football, college football betting, things like that. And I would say it's very good.
Can you believe Belichick not a first ballot Hall of Famer? What the hell's up with that?
I don't know, maybe it's recency bias with this North Carolina disaster, but it's a joke. I mean, he should obviously be in. It would be like not letting Bill Walsh in on the first try.
That is correct. Or not having you in the Internet Hall of Fame, Jim.
Oh, no,
Jim, good to see you. I will be seeing you very shortly, probably in all hands. Jim, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, Brian.